with Half Dozen Customs. Today's Monte Monday, and we're back out here on this side of the shop. I don't know how much work we're actually going to physically do on the Monte Carlo. It's just going to be a lot of me going back and forth through the camera, cleaning up this side of the shop. We're coming into winter. It's been getting pretty cold out. We have had some few days of nice weather recently, and before it gets any colder, I want to clean out this side. I explained in last week's video, I built this workbench to be able to work over here without having to go all the way over there. Only thing that's nice about over there is I have steel tops on my workbenches, where this one's just plywood. But I have a small sheet metal brake over here. I have an anvil. So we have stuff that we can just go right here and work on. Not that we needed a whole lot for the Monte Carlo, but I have been working on this other project in the back here, which would be nice to be able to use this workbench for. And right after we built it, I piled all this stuff on there, and it's been there ever since. It's been there for like a year. I want to clear it out. We're gonna just put it in one of my trucks out there for right now. Anything that is going to be going back in the vehicle that needs to be maybe sandblasted and painted, we're gonna start working on that stuff. Don't know if we'll get to that today, but we will. I gotta take my bead roller down. We need to get my wash tank outside and get it drained. I filled that thing up with cleaner a couple of years ago, and we've used it several times, and it's nasty, it stinks, and come wintertime it freezes, and I always wonder, you know, come springtime when it all thaws out, like, is it gonna work? And I turn it on and thankfully it works. But during the winter, it becomes a frozen ice block. So I want to take it outside. I want to get it drained. We're gonna leave it drained over the winter this year, so that way, you know, it doesn't freeze and we can get rid of it. It doesn't smell in the shop because it has a lid that closes, but as soon as you open that lid, it's like, whoo, man. My goal is to get all this stuff cleaned up. I did have a light under this workbench, but then my light that is inside my toolbox died, so I took the light down from here and I put it in my toolbox. I have a new light right here to put up, so I want to get that put up. So it is kind of Monte Monday, but it's kind of a cleanup. So let's get to it and let's start getting some stuff cleaned up out here. That's my goal today, is to get this clean. So let's get to it. Thanks for joining us. So you may have watched last week us installing this over here, and it's in the way of me getting the wash tank out, so we gotta take it down and move it. Let's go ahead and get this out of here first. Okay, go around outside and get this door open. It only opens from the outside. Opens from both sides, but it's locked on the outside. Ooh, gotta take that drive shaft down before I do that. Okay. So I'm not gonna be moving the camera all over the place. Some of this stuff I'm gonna throw away. Some of it I'm gonna put in the truck. Some of it we're gonna hang on to in here. And some of it we're gonna put in the shed out there. So you're gonna see me doing a lot of walking back and forth with parts. Colleen was free today. I'd have her following me around with the camera, but she's not free, so. So stuff like this, you know, it's got a body clip in there. You know, those body clips are hard to come by around here. So I'll just remove that and we'll keep it, but I don't need this. Got a bucket here that we can put garbage in. So, get this old mud flap. This is a cool mud flap from like the 80s. And I wish I had 4 of them, but I don't. I either have 1 or I have 3. But I've always wanted to hang one up. So maybe one day we'll try and clean it up a little better, but it has the 90s colors with the pink and the teal and the purple, and it's got the zigzags in there. Cool piece. Wish I had 4 of them. Cool. I've been wanting to hang that up for a while. It's a Monte Carlo part. See, we did do something on the Monte Carlo today. So that's the one window that's broken out. I don't know if I'm gonna need the plastic chrome trim that goes around it. Hopefully whatever we get to replace it will we'll have new ones, but the other quarter glass is up top there. So this stuff is going to go into the storage unit because it may be something that we need. Some of it is. Interior piece that's all beat up. I don't know what we're gonna do for interior. Oh, I want to hang him up too. See, we'll get some stuff hung up today. Okay, be right back. wipe him down later. I already put all the cleaning stuff away. Wasn't expecting to be hanging up stuff. Couple things that I know what they are, so I'm bagging them. I normally bag everything, but there's like I removed this, so I think that's motor mount. But then there's like these. I don't know what those are, but they got set in there. Need this, we can get this cleaned up. We're gonna get the gas pedal cleaned up, so this stuff will stay here. Spindles, I think we'll stick in the shed because those can be cleaned up and reused. There's nothing wrong with them. I think those will be okay. These are usable. These things are all rusty, but they look brand new. So I don't think I'm gonna get rid of them. I gotta go through those cabinets and try and find the wiring harness. It's around here somewhere. Okay, that was a lot of work to get that all moved. So the big box I put in the shed on the shelf barely fit. I had to kind of cram it in there. All the front suspension stuff, minus the spindles and the rotors, went into the back of the truck. The spindles and the rotors, the power steering pump, that went into the shed because that's stuff that I think we'll be reusing. The drums, I may not be reusing those, but like I said, they look brand new. They just look like they're 20 years old. Could we throw those in the blast cabinet and blast them and clean them up? I think so. I mean, there's no scale, no nothing. It is just surface rust on them. So I think we could clean those up. and, you know, tape off where the brake surface, where the brake pads go, and paint the rest. Put some new bearings in it, and I think that those would be usable. Not an issue. Like I said, they look brand new. So we may do that just to save, you know, 50 or 60 bucks. You know, brake calipers I put outside, those we're gonna get new. You know, pads of course will get new. I did keep the torque converter cover for the transmission. I kept that out. We'll get that sandblasted, cleaned up and painted. I kept the gas pedal out. We'll get that sandblasted, cleaned up and painted. And over the winter, if, you know, we're kind of in between money wise doing stuff, you know, we can pull those, we'll pull those rotors in, and we'll pull those spindles in. We'll throw them in the blast cabinet. We'll get them all blasted up. We can get those painted. So yeah, I think, you know, other than that box, I didn't really go through that box to see what was in there. Most of that stuff is going to get thrown away. So, but if you haven't learned from watching my videos, or I haven't talked about it enough, I usually don't throw anything away while I'm working on the vehicle, because, you know, like I said, that suspension stuff, if for some odd reason I need to move this car, I have the suspension stuff to put back on here, and then the car is movable. So, you know, if I gotta move it around in the shop, that's fine, I can move it with a jack. But like, if this car has to be trailered out of here somewhere for any reason, you know, I have the stuff to put it back together. So, but yeah, we got this cleaned up. I'm gonna get a fresh battery in, you guys. I'm gonna go grab a fresh cup of coffee, and we'll put this light up in here and get this light working so that we have a light above the workbench again. I don't know if this light has a, oh, it does, it has a switch on it, cool. I was gonna say, I don't know if it has a switch, but if not, we'll put one on it. But yeah, so stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, I'll put this light up here. Open up these holes. One set. Obviously the screw holes are a little different than the last one that I had up here. Like super close. So this stuff came out of Colleen's garage, and we checked it all and made sure everything worked. Like, these bulbs are good. And we know that this light worked. But what the heck is going on? Why wouldn't it turn on when I hit the switch? Wish it were a little brighter. Only 40 watts. I think my last one I had up here, he was a smaller light, like half this size, but way brighter. So I was supposed to dig through that box and find stuff to put the drive shaft back in. Totally forgot about that. So I had to, that box was a pain in the butt to get on the shelf too. We're gonna have to go get him back out, hopefully without destroying the box, because like I said, I really had to kind of force it into the shelf. And hopefully we can find that stuff. Now, where do we put this stuff? All right. Cool beans. We have a workbench back. That's nice. I guess this will just have to stay here. It's one of my tripods that I don't really use anymore, but like when I broke my camera thing the other day, like I broke him out and I used him, so I don't want to put it somewhere where I won't use it. All right, I'm gonna go grab that box again and bring that in and go through it and find the hardware for the drive shaft. Hardware for the drive shaft needs to be sandblasted and painted, and then we can install it. I don't know what time it is. It's lunchtime. So I'm probably gonna go in and check, see what Colleen's doing. She had some meetings this morning, so and then we still got to get this out and get this drained, and then once we get it drained, I'm probably gonna bring it over by the house, by the garden hose, and we're gonna hose it all out and get it cleaned out. And then we'll bring that back in here, and then maybe we'll sandblast those couple of drive shaft parts and get those painted, and maybe at the end of this video we can get the drive shaft installed. So yeah, we'll be back. So the last time that we filled this, we filled it with stuff from Harbor Freight. That's where this machine is from. It says on the bottle like how strong you want to make it, like mix it, you know, 20-80 with water or 50-50 or whatnot. It actually has on there like paint remover, you use it like 100%, and I want to say we did like 70-30 or something like that, like and it sucked. It absolutely sucked. So I don't know, I'm gonna make a decision when we go to fill it up in the springtime of whether or not I'm gonna go 100% that cleaner or if we're gonna try and find something else. I really don't want a flammable liquid in there, but I'm gonna see if we can find something better. I know a lot of people, they convert these things over and they put like hot tanks in them and they got filters on them, and some people convert them over so that they can run like diesel through it. But like I said, I don't want nothing flammable, so you know, come springtime we'll see what route I go. Maybe try like Purple Power instead of the stuff from Harbor Freight. Alright, we'll get this drained out and we'll be back. Okay, well, we got him all cleaned out for the winter, so that's good. I did go grab the box while that was draining and went through it. I got the stuff for the torque converter cover. I got some stuff for the gas pedal. And that was it. So the torque converter bolts I didn't come across, and I didn't come across the drive shaft bolts. I'm gonna go through them one more time just to make sure, but I have a feeling that they're in another box. So actually I know the torque converter bolts are up there. They came out of when we pulled the trans and the V6 apart a couple weeks ago. But if I remember correctly, they don't match. So I gotta go through the stuff from the Jeep to find the torque converter bolts. They should be in the Jeep stuff. That thing all the way over here from by the house. That was exhausting. Colleen was gonna come help me carry it back, but she's on a meeting and I don't want to leave it out there by the road. Somebody else stopped and got it. So, alright, I'm gonna go through this box real quick. One more time, excuse me. And then, guess I might have to go dig some boxes out of the shed because I don't think they're in here. We'll be back. Okay, got lucky. First box I opened in the shed. I found them. They were sitting right on top. So I got lucky because there's like 10 boxes in there that are full of Monte Carlo parts that they could have been in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some lunch. I got all the cleaning done that I wanted to get done. We'll come back out here a little later, and we'll get these dry shaft pieces sandblasted and cleaned up. Maybe we'll do the gas pedal, the torque converter cover. So that I'm not going to I'm not going to sandblast it the way it is. We need to get it cleaned up. It is super grungy and greasy. So we need to get that cleaned up. And that may be something that we just scuff and spray. It's not all rusty, so I don't think that there's any need to sandblast it. I think we'll just scuff it and paint it. But the gas pedal rod is rusty, so we'll sandblast that. And then I believe that this here is for the gas pedal. I believe this connects to the back of the gas pedal and the firewall. This connects to our carburetor. So we need to wipe this down, get this cleaned up, and maybe we can get this installed with the gas pedal. And then I did find a couple of bags that say behind dashboard. So I'm hoping that it has the gas pedal stuff in here to mount the gas pedal back to the firewall. So we need to get those bolts, if we can find them, sandblasted and painted, because I don't want a rusty. They bolt from the inside, and then all the threads stick out on the firewall, so I don't want a rusty bolt sticking out in the engine compartment. So we'll have to get those cleaned up. But yeah, so we'll be back out to do some stuff like that, and that'll be the end of the day. It's already 3 o'clock. By the time I go in and shower and cook lunch, and we get back out here, it'll be dark out, it'll be getting cold, it'll be evening time. So yeah, we'll see you guys a little bit later. Alright, we're back out here. I've been out here for a while. I did a bunch of stuff without you guys. I sandblasted a bunch of stuff. You guys can't really watch me sandblasting the blast cabinet. It just gets so cloudy in there that you can't see nothing. So, actually, I probably could have let you guys watch. I also did some work on the blast cabinet. I recently, the last time that I used it, I took apart the whole vacuum system and cleaned everything out really well, so it's sucking really well right now. It's been a long time since, like, when you would turn on the vacuum, it would suck the gloves out, and it's doing that again, which is good. And then I buffed the glass on the top, which is plastic, it's not glass. So I can see through it now. Not only was it covered in overspray, but it was all scratched up from all the times that I've cleaned it in the past. And then when I did that whole vacuum cleaning the last time I used it, I replaced the film on the inside. So surprisingly, I could see pretty well. But I got the drive shaft pieces sandblasted. I got the gas pedal sandblasted. I got the bolts that I believe are for the gas pedal. I got those sandblasted. And then I got the flywheel cover, or torque converter cover blasted. I got those bolts blasted. So the gas pedal ones, it's possible that these are it. They were in a bag mounted firewall, so and they fit through here. So I think that those are it. Unfortunately, I just kind of threw everything in a bag and marked it firewall. And then I found a bag that said torque converter cover, and it's only got 3 bolts in it. 2 of them match, 1 of them don't. And they're like coarse thread, like a license plate bolt, which I'm kind of surprised that would screw into the transmission housing. I don't know. We'll have to see. Thing. These gas pedal bolts, I think I'm just gonna let them go loose when we paint them instead of screwing them into this cardboard like it just was, because I need the threads painted as well. Okay, we're gonna hang this up. I don't care about the back of the pedal, you're never gonna see it, but I do want to get, like, I sandblasted it all, so I want to get the spring recoated and this bar recoated, or it'll just rust. Same thing with this stuff in here. This mounts to the firewall, you'll never see it, I don't care, so we'll just paint it. Alright, well, we got a coat on that stuff. I'll put several coats on there. The U-joint clamps, we'll probably have to let those maybe dry overnight, and then in the morning I'll have to flip them over. We'll have to spray the other side of them. And then we'll put the drive shaft in tomorrow evening. That'll be at the end of this video. So let me get this stuff finished painted and I'll show you guys the finished product, and then we'll be back tomorrow to put the drive shaft in. So we'll be back to show you that he's done. So we're still in between coats on the stuff behind me here. I picked up this gas pedal cable, throttle cable, and if you guys seen some of the previous videos, maybe you're new here, but all over the firewall, everywhere that there was a screw that went through from the inside to the outside, cables, wiring, anything that went from the inside to the outside, it was almost, I don't think it's undercoating, but it was almost like undercoating, and it looked like they sprayed it, like hosed it on around anything that came from the inside to the outside to seal it up. And it was a pain in the butt to get off of the firewall, and I didn't get 100% of it. Some of it ended up, we got off as much as we could, and then we just painted over the rest. I tried sandblasting it, I couldn't get it off. I tried wire wheeling it, I couldn't get it off. I grinded what I could get to, and then what we couldn't get to ended up having to stay. It looks good. Probably never see it unless I pointed it out, but it is all over this throttle cable, and it looks horrible. And I don't want to put this back in the car with this all over it. So I'm sitting here picking at it with the screwdriver, coming off. It's kind of rubbery, but it's so old. that's kind of crunchy too. Let's see, I don't. And then you get to that one and it's like totally plugged full of this stuff. Whatever it is, it's good stuff, whatever they used. I wish they wouldn't have used it. At first, when I was looking at it, I almost thought like, oh, was there like an engine fire? Because it looked all melted. And then the more I looked at it, and I started thinking back to cleaning that firewall, I was like, oh, I know what that is. Alright, much better. I got that all cleaned out. Could probably use a little lacquer thinner and a toothbrush. Clean it up a little better. We'll clean all this stuff up. There's quite a few things. I had said something last week that we had, I had put the speedometer cable back in the transmission and it's just filthy. We need to take that out and scrub that before we put it back in. When I did my station wagon when I was younger, I was in my early 20s, and me and Colleen built that car together. And we actually pulled out like every door seal, window seal, everything underneath the hood. Like I had that thing stripped down to nothing, and we sat there with a bucket of lacquer thinner and a toothbrush and we scrubbed everything. And when we put that car all back together, it looked brand new. Like all the door seals looked brand new, all the window seals looked brand new, everything under the hood, the rubber hoses, everything looked brand new. So, and it was all just sitting there with a little cup of lacquer thinner and a scrub brush and paper towels and just cleaning everything. And you know, we'll have to do that with some of this stuff. A lot of the stuff isn't going back in this, and a lot of the stuff's going to be brand new. But like this, as long as this fits, you know, it works good. The cable looks clean. As long as this fits where it's supposed to, this will go back on. So. And I got one more coat to put on this stuff. And then these will be done. It's just about time to start on my project here. I start every night at that at 9 o'clock, and I work for an hour on it. And it is 8:50 right now, so we got 10 minutes. So I know it wasn't much of a Monte Carlo video today. I apologize about that, but I'm super happy that we got everything all cleaned out that needed to be cleaned out. I'm glad that we found the stuff that we were looking for, and we're getting it painted. So only thing that we didn't find today that I said that I wanted to find was that wiring harness. which I'll take a look here in a minute. Colleen said it's in one of these red cabinets and it's in a box marked 47, but I don't recall that. So I just recently was in the 47. I was looking for a brake light switch for the Jeep, and I was looking in the 47 to see if we had one, because it was a weird brake light switch that only comes in older cars. So we were looking in there for that. And I didn't recall coming across any wiring in there. So if it's not in these red cabinets, it's got to be in this blue truck out here. I have that camper top on there and it's full of car parts. So, all right. Well, these are just about done. I'll show them to you real quick, and then we'll be back tomorrow. So, like I said, these are what I got to flip over. I'll paint those in the morning. And then the gas pedal rod. It was all rusty. It needed to be done. So, but all right, guys. I will see you guys in the morning. Or no, I'll probably see you guys in the evening to put this drive shaft in, and then that'll be the end of the video. Next week, we will probably, we might put some of this stuff back together, like, get the torque converter cover cleaned up, and maybe get that put back together, get the throttle cable hooked back up, hopefully we'll find that wiring, and we'll start messing with that. Basically, I think I said it before, like, all that I'm hooking up right now with that wiring is just what we need to start the motor. An ignition and whatever, ground positives, battery, whatever we need to just start it. That's what we're gonna mess with, hooking it up. I'm not gonna try and find a home for any of it or anything like that. We are not ready for that. I would just like to fire up the motor here soon. So we'll probably be messing around with that kind of stuff next Monday. I did talk to Colleen the other day about getting the stuff to do the headers, the ceramic paint and the header wrap. So she is aware that we need to order that. She did not say when I could. So we'll see. We're getting there. I want to put the driver's side door back on. Not that it's something that's super important, but it's sitting in the car, and I would like to put it back on. So we may do that. I wanted to do that today, but we didn't get to it. We gotta put the torque converter bolts back in, so that'll probably be next Monday. So anyways, that's what we got to look forward to next Monday. Yeah, and then once we get this motor fired up, not to keep going on, but we're getting to the point to where we're gonna have to start spending money. We may start body work on the front fenders. Now I need to, the front fenders need to get like body worked out to the door. So we can't finish them, but we can get them roughed in. So we may start that stuff. The trunk's roughed in, the roof's roughed in, we can get the fenders roughed in. And this Jeep we are actually in the middle of painting this Jeep right now. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll pretty much be wrapping up this Jeep. And hopefully once the Jeep is done, we'll go get some quarters and some doors for this guy. So we'll be doing that hopefully sometime in the beginning of the year. We're getting there. So beginning of the year, we should be putting quarters on this, and yeah, so that'll be fun. Look forward to that. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow for the drive shaft. Later. Oh, I left my flashlight up there. We are back out here, and we are attempting to put this drive shaft back in. Let me grab my flashlight real quick. So we finished painting everything this morning. It's getting the hardware painted and whatnot. And wait. Now, trying to get myself stuck under the car. Come on. Come on. Jeez. Now, hopefully, we can get these bolts to thread in with all the paint. All right. So we got the drive shaft in. I got one bolt that I still need to tighten up, but I can't get the ratchet on it anymore. What we need to do, so what we need to do is pop the trans into neutral and spin the drive shaft so that that bolt's down on the bottom. I can get to it. But I think that's it for this one. You know, like I said, we're gonna be going through all the suspension anyway, so we're gonna be back here working. The rear end's gotta come out. We gotta put new seals in it at the very least. I have looked at a posi kit for it to turn this rear end into a posi kit, so we may be doing that. I definitely want posi rear end in here, whether we go with a 4 9-inch or we make this one posi. Don't know yet. Yeah, so me not getting that bolt tightened is not a big deal. It's just more you know, we got drive shaft done. It's in the car. It's out of my way for the moment. Yeah, we're just gonna keep moving forward and keep, you know, trying to put this car back together. And, you know, eventually we will hit a point to where the car is gonna have to come back apart. You know, we still gotta run fuel lines. We gotta run brake lines. You know, I still would like to pull this body off of the frame. So, you know, there's still a lot of work to do on this car. But I think everything that we're doing, you know, we are still just moving forward with it, and, you know, kind of test fitting everything and whatnot. So we will see you next week. I'm gonna keep my eye out this week for the wiring harness, and hopefully next Monday, if I haven't found it by then, we'll find it, and we'll start getting some wires run and figure out what it is that we need to get hooked up to try and turn this thing over. So we will see you guys next Monday. Remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.